We're going to cover a really exciting foot stretch today, which helps to mobilize small bones of the foot that help out with conditions like plantar fasciitis, heel pain, or even pain into the arch. Now this area right here, this is called the foot, and here is the long bones of the foot, here's all the tarsals. And so we have into here, if you can kind of tell, all these little ridges in here and stuff, these areas actually shear on each other. They're called plane joints. They're supposed to move really nicely amongst each other. This area is supposed to move too, and this area behind you here, between these two bones, is also supposed to move a little bit as well. It's really hard to get them to move independently, so doing something like toe threading can be super helpful, and I'll show you how to do right now. Now, toe threading, you can do it seated. I'm going to do it on this right here, but I tend to do it cross-legged while on the floor most of the time, but just for purposes of showing you guys, I'm going to do it here, okay? Now, I'd venture to say that most people do the first part really poorly, and that's why they have limited benefit from the exercise. What you want to do is actually get the webbing of your hand right here into the webbing of your foot. If you don't do that, you don't get all the benefits from it. And I know a lot of people use things like toe spacers and so on, like they put those things between the toes. This is essentially the same thing, but now it's at least to your own geometry here. This is really hard for most people. A lot of people will not get the pinky toe in. Do your best to take the time to set up to actually get them in there. Once they're in there, do not take them out until you're done with the entire thing, because half the battle is just getting the darn thing in there again, and then it takes too long and people don't do it. I've met people who I've given this to, and they've really benefited by decreasing some of their plantar fascia or heel pain within literally a week or less, just by doing this one simple maneuver. So we're going to take this right here as our primary contact, and then we're going to take a secondary contact right here in the crook of the foot, okay? I'm trying to stabilize here and produce movement between the areas. And if you remember that model right there, there's all these little plane joints right here, and then there's the long bones. So I'm going to prioritize stabilizing here and then moving here. Now what I want to do, and I'm going to remove my hand here just to show you, I'm trying to take this hand and compress it inward, and then almost move your hand like a wave, like you stuck your hand out of a car and it's waving up and down like so. So we're going to compress and then wave the biggest waves that we possibly can for about 10 reps. It's like 1, 2, 3, and so on, right? So this is series 1, contact 1, contact 2, series 1. The next thing you do with contact 1 and 2 is actually we're going to wring out the towel, and I'm trying to physically turn and turn. So turn and then readjust and turn and turn. I'm trying to almost make it so the flat of my foot faces the ceiling, okay? This can be super uncomfortable because, again, we're wringing the toes out and stuff, but we're really getting a lot of benefit by spreading those toes there. It helps out with things even like Morton's aromas in the bottom of the foot. Okay, we're going to do 10 of these. Next, we're going to change our other contact, and so contact 2 becomes contact 3. So contact 3 is going to be underneath here, and I like to use my elbow of my hand, or sorry, my forearm here, and just bury it into the thigh, like so, to help to produce force, because I'm still looking to compress together. We're going to do the same 2 basic maneuvers. We're going to do the waving, about 10, and then we're going to do the wringing out the towel, okay? Now you may wonder what this looks like on the floor. It's the same thing, okay? Some people tolerate it much better when they're actually on the floor like so. And you can actually use part of the ground as the force in the hand to create the compression as well. Okay. Now what this tends to work really well with is coupling it with barefoot walking on rocky surfaces. Not everybody has access to rocky surfaces. In my area, we have landscaping rocks. Okay, there's not a lot of them, but you find those landscaping rocks, and I've heard someone say they call it foot candy. I think it's a great term. Essentially, you're giving your feet candy, which helps out with improving how much spatial awareness you get in the foot, and also it helps to, if you imagine like a firm area right here and you step down on it, the rest of the foot flattens, but that area keeps popped up there. It produces some shear between those plane joints, which are hard to mobilize. And so it's nature's way of doing toe threading, but without actually having to do toe threading. So I hope this was helpful. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.